If you want the best coverage from the farm system to the front office, then you've come to the right place. Welcome to the Rangers Today Baseball Podcast, now on the Dub Network. Here are your hosts, Jeff and John.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Rangers Today Baseball Podcast. This is episode number 103, and today we are going to have Dane Dunning is going to join us. But before we do that, we've got to do some house cleaning, get some stuff that's going on. First of all, guys, hit the subscribe button down there at the bottom. We need those subscribers. We're up over 2,000 now. We're going to get it up there to 3 or 4 if we can get it going.
Yeah. You guys help us out with that. That's a big deal.
Yeah. Second of all, coming up the 18th, we're getting close. We're a couple weeks away. It's the big live show at Hop and Sting Brewery in Grapevine, Texas. We do have one confirmed guest, and that's Mike Maddox, pitching coach.
Friend of the show, yes.
Friend of the show. Actually, we may even get his daughter up there to talk. She's got an interesting story that's coming out. Not going to talk about that today.
Yeah, that'll be the Sunday read this week. But
we're not going to talk about that today because that's going to be neat.
Yeah, but
wait till you read the story. You better have joined RangersToday.com, $5.99 a month.
60 for the year.
60 for the year. At $35 for 6 months. That might not be bad. That'd start pretty soon and get you through most of the season.
It'll get you until the All-Star break, roughly.
Yeah. So
not roughly. It'll get you into mid-June. But
yeah. Anyway, get that going. But and then the last thing before we get into the off season and all of that, big news is coming for the podcast. A big thing coming up that we're close. We're waiting on some things to sign and do all of that. But hey, listen, the reason all of it's there is because of you guys. You guys have had made us you've made us the best Texas Ranger podcast out there. Essentially, that's why we were approached for this.
Yeah. So anyway, and then Happy New Year. Hope you guys had good holidays.
Yeah.
It's been quiet, unfortunately.
And that's what we got to talk about.
It's kind of driving me crazy. This inactivity. It's hard to come up with a newsletter every day when there's nothing really to write. But we're doing all right, and it's. It's a very unique off season. I think with
it's never started this late for them.
Well, I think with Ohtani and Yamamoto, that really held up this whole market, and now Scott Boras is kind of in charge because he's got the
two biggest pitchers that are on the
Snell
market,
and Jordan Montgomery, and so everyone's just kind of waiting. It's getting frustrating. I think the money that's being spent and talked about is way over value. So I really don't know what's going to happen here with the Rangers, and they don't talk about it, which is their prerogative, and they don't tell me how to do my job, and I don't tell them how to do theirs. That's fine.
Well, sure, we can tell them how to do their job, but that doesn't. They're not going to listen to us.
It's just something. The dam's going to break at some point here, and hopefully it's soon. I mean, maybe it happens by the time that the video's out. I don't know, but
okay. So
hopefully it's happening.
Let's talk about this. What do they need? We're still talking. I'd like to see them get 1 or 2 starting pitchers.
Okay.
So they did go out and get Mally, but Mally's not going to be available till June, July, probably somewhere in that area. He did have Tommy John surgery. He had it a month before Jacob deGrom, so he's ahead of Jacob deGrom. Same Meister did that one too, right?
Right.
So he should be ahead of that. He's probably getting ready in spring training. Might even see him throwing the ball a little bit. Getting into that and getting going. Jake might be throwing the ball.
Yeah, I think they're all throwing at this point. I think it's really structured,
right?
Slow process, like 60 feet 3 times a week, and then you clear that hurdle and you move on. 15-foot increments,
right?
And, they take a couple weeks, and maybe
they want to see how responses are. So go throw, and then we want to see what do you feel like now.
Yeah, but 12 months is usually when they start to get on a mound. So I would say May he's on a mound, maybe June for deGrom, and then just kind of build up from there.
Right. And so we know that so we're looking still probably at least one legit starter and hopefully another maybe little bit lower tier starter. That just it's depth. It's all about depth. You got minor league guys and maybe they're not even looking at that. Maybe they're looking at someone like Owen White and saying, you know what, that's a guy that's going to fill a need this year. He's going to have to step up and be some depth there. We need to go out and get one more good pitcher. Hey, they have a good rotation right now. It's not a bad rotation. It's not as good as it was last year, but it's with this lineup, it's a good rotation.
Sure, it's you're right. I mean, it's good. Headed by Evaldi. That's always exciting. John Gray, healthy John Gray is always a very serviceable pitcher. We got our guest coming up, Dane Dunning.
Obviously in the rotation.
Andrew Heaney, who pitched his tail off there in the World Series and with game.
So did Dane. Did very good too.
And then you've got Cody Bradford, who tentatively is our guest for the next episode. It's
sitting there. He's going to be on this team one way or the other. He could be sitting there as the fifth starter.
He's a major league pitcher. But the depth is a concern right now. I think that they do need to re-sign a guy. It would be great if the Montgomery price comes down, or if the TV contract works itself out and they realize they have a little more money than they thought they did.
Let's talk about that. Is that on when's court? You wrote something today. Is it Monday?
June. Yeah, Monday they have a court date. They had one scheduled before Christmas that got postponed. That's when the talk about alternate money or altered payout structure, and then Amazon came in and apparently has approached Diamond about streaming rights. They don't have the Rangers streaming rights, so I don't know how that affects the Rangers, unless, like, one idea would be Diamond sells the streaming rights to I think the 5 clubs that they do have. That money then goes into the kitty for the teams who are owed money, or or goes into the bankruptcy plan. There's a judge that has to structure and approve all of this. So
it's above our pay grade.
Yeah, I mean, and you can speculate about it. Evan and I kind of talked a little bit about it on the Twitter yesterday.
Yeah,
but
I saw that.
I don't have the court documents. We don't know what's been happening the last 2 weeks in terms of negotiations. And John Heyman has been throwing out $90 million, which, if the Rangers are owed $111 million, $90 million is roughly a 20% savings. I don't know if 20% helps the Valley cause or not. $90 million still seems like a huge number,
right?
For somebody in bankruptcy. So I don't know. We just got to wait till it shakes out, and there hasn't been a ton of reporting because you need a court date. You need the evidence, but the transcripts of these court dates become public, and that's when more news comes out. So we'll see what happens. I don't know that there's a resolution. I think the Rangers are fine for this year. I think they're going to be fine overall. I think the Rangers feel like this has been kind of blown out of proportion, that it's not a huge deal.
I think they're just being fiscally responsible with it. There's just not the guy there that.
Well, they spent a ton of money the last 2 off seasons. I mean, they spent a ton of money. They have guys who are going to get big bumps from arbitration.
Right.
So I mean, it's just kind of where they are right now. And it's not, you don't want your team to throw around stupid money if they don't have it.
Look at the Angels. Look at the Mets selling off. Now and as rich as Ray Davis is, he's a very wealthy man and I don't think he's hurting for anything. This is play money for Steve Cohen, and
it's play money for all of these guys.
Right.
It's just some of these guys are who they are. You can't forget who they come from. I mean,
they're not going to be done with their money.
Nobody knows how old Ray Davis is, but let's say he's 80. All right, 80 years ago was right out of the Great Depression, during a world war.
Right.
Things were just different.
Right.
And then people that you don't lose some of that stuff. No. And we don't. He's also a businessman. I mean, these rich people become rich by making smart business decisions and by not doing stupid stuff. Now, it would have been great to have Ohtani, sure.
Yes.
But I just...
Especially that contract. That's weird.
But I'm just saying that, don't be disappointed with the Rangers' lack of spending, because they've spent the past 2 off seasons. They've put together a nucleus that's going to be together for a long time.
Yeah.
They need some starting pitchers in the minor leagues to hit. They need, Sam Huff needs to come up and do well. Justin Foscue, Wyatt Langford, all those guys need to do well to help balance the budget. Cheap cheap quality labor,
right?
And then it's a cycle. You'll lose some contracts here in a couple of years. Gray will be a free agent. Evaldi will be a free agent,
right?
That'll free up around $35 million, let's say.
And the luxury tax continues to go up every year.
Right.
So but you do have these kids coming up, and that's a point that no one's talking about. And while they might be semi looking at what this TV deal is going to be and exactly how much money is coming at them, it's not withholding them necessarily from doing anything. The fact is that you've got some internal candidates that are far less expensive than what's out there that really are on the verge of stepping up and making contributions. And I know everyone thinks Langford, well, that should just be the opening day DH or left fielder. He is not going to be, but I certainly see him being like Evan Carter last year, someone that comes up during the season is just that bat that no one has a book on for a little while, and he could really tear it up.
Yeah, I think there's a slight chance that Wyatt Langford can make the opening day roster.
Sure, absolutely. I mean,
he has 161 career bats in the minors, and I think 19 at AAA. If he's good, he's good. All right, but I don't know that you need to force that upon a young guy. But whatever, I'm not a talent evaluator.
Well, he gets into spring training, hits 400. He's hitting off the aces of everybody. He's got 12 home.
In spring training, it depends on when you hit. If you get hits early in spring training, it's not as not as good as late because that's when the pitchers start to dial in.
Right.
If he gets to face Zach Gallen on March 19th and gets 3 hits off of him in a home run, that's more eye-opening than if he'd done it. When Zach Gallen is throwing only fastballs,
right? If he sees off on him, so
it's. But I think that the Rangers have an opportunity to also this spring do some contract extensions on some young guys.
Evan Carter being one.
Yeah, I mean, just because because the TV deal's uncertain. Doesn't mean they can't still make smart baseball moves and to get these guys locked up. I think I've said it before, but if you look at what the Braves have done as far as extending guys, they've been pretty friendly deals. Their young guys are doing good. They just gave Chris Sale a contract extension. Yeah. I mean, that seems like the Braves' modus operandi. Sign a guy or acquire a guy or bring up a guy. Sign him up.
Yep.
Give him this long-term deal that's club friendly, gives him money, gives the player money right off the bat.
Gives the player security.
Yeah, so I would think that Evan Carter and Josh Young would both be receptive to that.
This is probably a dumb question that I should probably know, but you're the expert and I'm not. When a player is on the IL, does his salary still count against the salary cap?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if they like if he's on the 60 days. Excuse me, I'm not talking about somebody that goes on a 10-day break or something. I'm talking about a guy that if he's going to be out the whole year, you're still eating that on your salary against your electric tax.
You are, and a lot of the contracts are insured, so you will get a portion of that back
through your insurance. Okay, all right.
Not every contract gets insured.
Right.
It's not cheap to insure those things, but like the Prince Fielder contract was insured.
Right.
The Tigers had insured it. And so the Rangers got some money back.
They got some help.
They got some help. Yeah. So
and I should know that, but I assumed that it just went against the normal salary cap like it was. But I'm like,
it does.
Okay,
that's a risk. I mean,
but you've said it over and over, and it's so true. The Rangers aren't cheap. They have spent money. Period.
The last couple of years, yeah. I mean,
what I can't make people understand, if you're looking at power rankings right now, when teams where they're sitting, the Rangers are still like the last one I saw. They were ranked number 3.
Yeah,
behind the Dodgers,
the top AL team.
Yeah, they're the top AL team. Yeah, but they had the Braves and the Dodgers up ahead of them.
Yeah,
but this is a team that's going to be picked right now to win the West and probably compete for the AL pennant the way they are right now.
You'd think so, sure, and
the lineup especially and the defense.
They're just a good team. I mean, they just won the World Series.
Yeah.
This isn't like the 97 Marlins that win the World Series and you just scrap it. It's not like the Blockbuster video guy who bought the team and
he starts selling everybody off.
Got into some trouble and then had to. But this team's set up for success. That was the whole plan behind the rebuild. And honestly, they're still ahead of probably what the initial timeline was for the rebuild. I
I think this year they really thought they had a chance to compete.
But anyway, 8 of the 9 guys who took most of the at-bats in the postseason are back.
Yep.
A lot of pitchers are back.
It's that
even
DH spot
though the guys that are hurt, the DH spot, you can do a lot with the DH spot.
Where you don't have to go out and sign somebody. You can actually bring back Grossman. You can
fill it. You can fill in with Sam Huff and Justin Foscue, let's say, and when Adolis Garcia needs a day off, or a day off of feet, he can DH. Then you throw in an outfielder. Let's say Travis Gronkowski or JP Martinez or somebody that
Martinez is still on his 40-man.
Going to do okay and is going to give you a quality at bat and do a good job defensively.
Right now, though, with who they have, even if Gronkowski doesn't come back, the 4 outfielders on this roster right now that you think of, JP Martinez, Adolis, Leote, and Evan, this is a great defensive outfield sitting there right now. JP's a good defensive outfielder. Gronkowski, who was amazing, I still – that's my guy. I want him to come back here. I still think there's an opportunity. He hasn't signed yet either. And there's a great opportunity for him to get a big league deal too. But I think they're just, like you said, they're kind of waiting for you made a great point about, hey, we'll sign you to a minor league deal knowing you're going to make the team. We've got to clear some 40-man spots. And we can't put anybody. You get the guys are going to go on 60-day IL. You've already got 3 or 4 of those that are going to do it. You know they're going to do it. So
right. There's 3 guys who are going to go on the 60. I would assume,
and there may be another one before that. Someone may get injured.
They may Scherzer. They may not 60-day him. Just depending on how his recovery comes off the back surgery, but DeGrom and Malley, I would assume, will
absolutely
quickly go to the 60-day once spring training starts. They have 2 spots open now. Okay, so you want 2 starters. I think 1 starter, another veteran reliever,
and a bat.
Yeah, but like a Grossman or a Gronkowski, and keep in mind 2 key contributors to last year's success. Will Smith and Robbie Grossman signed after spring training. Had started. And yes, Robbie Grossman was a contributor. He had 10 home runs. He did really well against left-handed pitchers, which is why he was signed. I mean, they don't win on opening day
in the clubhouse.
Robbie Grossman. I mean, he hit a big home run. And so, anyway, I just think that it's such an unusual offseason because of who was available, Ohtani, Yamamoto, that things are going to happen quickly when Snell and Montgomery are off the board. I think those are
the 2 everybody's kind of sitting on.
The 2 pieces that everybody's sitting on. And if there's another Japanese pitcher, Shota Imanaga, who pitched the championship game of the World Baseball Classic, started for Japan, left-handed guy. He apparently is down to 4 teams, and if one of those 4 signs him, that's 1 less suitor for Montgomery. I think
Montgomery wants to come back here.
I think he does too,
and it's probably why he hasn't signed, because I'm sure Boris is still. You know how Boris is. But I think Montgomery is like. I could be totally wrong. Don't get me wrong. Money's going to talk. Don't get me wrong. If the money difference is huge, then that's a different story. But I think he wants to come back here, and Boris is just doing what any good agent does. He's trying to get that extra year or the extra few million to make it work or whatever, or an option or something. He's trying to close it down, lock it down, but he's got to act like Jordan's not interested right now.
Yeah, well, and it's always the extra year. That's always what sets a Boris deal apart. Like, a bunch of teams were stuck at 6 years on Anthony Rendon, including the Rangers. The Angels gave him the 7th. That's where he went. And it's somebody told me that if one team offers $100 million, let's say, and another team offers $100 million and $1, or whatever I said, $1 million, and the other team offers $1 million and $1, Boris wants him to take the extra $1.
Right, exactly.
And he you don't see a lot of guys who don't take the most money who are Boris clients. Greg Maddux did it when he had to choose the Yankees or the Braves. He chose the Braves, worked out pretty well.
They ultimately, Boris works for them.
Yeah, Jared Weaver, was a free agent, did not want to leave the Angels, so he took a what was probably a club friendly deal to stay there. Yeah, the player the player's in charge,
right?
And if
but it's a ego thing for Boris to have the most money on the books.
Well, it's it's good for the Players Association.
Sure.
The Players Association always wants the guys to take the most money.
Absolutely.
To help push the salaries higher for the next generation of guys or next year's free agents, whatever. But I still think that I've never thought the Rangers were out on Montgomery, even when Ken Rosenthal and John Heyman said they were. And I think that they still have a chance. I think it has to be.
Well, now he's starting to come back around. Do they think he's still in?
I think I mean, they're coming around to it. I don't think the Rangers were ever out of it.
Right. No, what I'm saying is the prognosticators are coming back around to, well, the Rangers, I think, are still in this thing. They were all saying they weren't.
Right.
Now they're saying they are again. Like you said, you don't think they ever were out of it.
No, I don't. And it's just this. Nobody's seen an off season like this.
Okay.
Like I've said about 9 times.
Yep.
And so we just have to kind of be patient and wait for it to evolve.
Let me tell you something. And I'm going to say this. This is a little inside information. You don't even know about this. On Jordan Montgomery, the day of the parade, when we got there, Jeff and I were allowed to go down onto the field. The players were going to be made accessible to us, and we were going to get to talk to the players before they ever started any of the parade stuff. So I had got there. Kathy had stayed at the car. I went in, got on the elevator. When I came down, I was walking down the tunnel to where we entered to go onto the field. And Jordan Montgomery and his family came out of an elevator over here. And when he saw me and I went, "Hey, Jordan, what's up?" He said, "Hey," he stopped, big grin on his face. Of course, they'd won the World Series. Came over, dapped me, talked to me for a sec, introduced me to his family. This was a happy man with his family there. And I, at that point, thought, this guy loves it here. That's what I thought. Now, it's all about money. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you've got to secure for your family. You got to do all of that, too. Yeah. And now's that time where everybody seems to be, they think that they're not offering me enough or whatever. But, man, that guy, you know how he was, when we would try to talk to him in the locker room. And he was just one of the guys that was just going to give you short answers. He wasn't going to get in. But man, he was very friendly that day, very happy, big grins, even a slight dap hug thing, saying hello to everybody. I thought he was coming back. Now, then when they started saying he wasn't coming back, I don't come from it like you. I thought, well, maybe they know something I don't. Maybe there's some just big money out there.
Yeah, and there still might be.
Sure.
I mean, it only takes one team. That's the thing. It only takes one. And but does Jordan Montgomery, who's from South Carolina, want to go play for the Giants?
Yep, he doesn't want to play for the Yankees. We already
doesn't
know
seem
that.
like a fit. He'd be across the country from his wife, and all right. So that doesn't seem like a fit. The Yankees is where he started his career. They
bailed on him.
They didn't. There's a history that they didn't give him opportunities in the postseason. They traded him while in contention. Makes you wonder. He then got with Mike Maddox and had a terrific finish for the Cardinals in 22. Came back here, and what was pretty good for the Cardinals. Came here at the deadline, got better.
Right.
He wears a beard now, which you can't wear with the Yankees.
Nope.
So I just think that I think that eliminates the Yankees, and then
there was a lot of talk about Boston. I think his wife is in medical school
she's a doctor.
She is a doctor now, and she's in her what do you call that? After medical school, you do your residency or whatever, and she's doing that up near Boston area.
Oh, is she? I thought she was full-fledged doctor, but anyway, but
she is at this point even doing residency.
Okay,
you're a doctor.
The Red Sox have gone and signed Lucas Giolito.
Right.
So there's reports that they're not in on him either.
Let me tell you
that leaves like the Angels, which if he wants to win, he's not going to go there. Plus the cross country thing with the family. It just the Cardinals. There's still some hope that from Cardinals fans. The Phillies apparently have popped in, but the Phillies have a problem because they gave Aaron Nola 170-something million, and Boris says that Montgomery should be paid more than that because the numbers are a little bit better. But the Phillies can't give somebody else more money than Aaron Nola. And then if they're going to re-sign Zach Wheeler, that's going to be even bigger money. So then you kind of start to wonder, how much money does Philadelphia have?
Right.
And then the Cardinals, they signed a bunch of pitchers to 1-year deals at the start of the offseason. Would he go back there? I don't know. It just seems like he got a lot better when he got to the Rangers. And the thing about Montgomery and Stratton, they were both very happy to be back with Mike Maddox.
Yep.
That speaks to Mike,
our guest at our live show, and he is very popular with these guys.
So that might speak to Mike, but it also might speak to what was left in St. Louis after Mike left. So there's just the Rangers make a ton of sense, but again, it's just one team could be just
that gets stupid.
Gets
desperate. Thought we were going to get one of these guys, we didn't get them, and now they're just going to throw stupid money out, and it's hard to turn it down.
Yeah. So the Cubs, the Cubs have not had any success this offseason in terms of Yamamoto, Ohtani. I think they might have thought they had a chance at that. So and they're in on this Imanaga. I hope I'm saying his name correctly. But anyway, if they don't get him at that point, they don't seem interested in re-signing Marcus Stroman or Cody Bellinger, who's probably the best position player.
Yeah, he's
left.
the biggest position.
So there's
player.
some money there maybe for Jordan Montgomery. But
so the Rangers need to go get Bellinger.
No.
All right, well, let me ask this then. Before we go, maybe we'll try to touch on some minor league stuff, guys. We're not doing a big down in the bus leagues because the season's not going, but I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. You try to answer them. First off, starting pitcher. Is your starting pitcher you'd like to see? You said a starting pitcher, a veteran arm, and some sort of DH type. Who's your starting pitcher? Is it Montgomery? Is that who you want to see?
Yeah, I think it's not impossible. I think there's a chance.
If
that
not
happens.
him, is there someone else you kind of
maybe
maybe a trade?
Well, I mean, ideally, I would love to see a Shane Bieber, Emmanuel Clase trade.
Okay.
With the Guardians,
I threw out a Shane Bieber trade.
That would be very big. That would be good.
Okay,
that would be good.
Right.
So that's my that would honestly for me that'd be plan A because you kill two birds with one stone.
Sure.
And you're not spending a ton of money.
Okay. So then if we're going pure free agency though, so you're saying
I'd say Montgomery. Yeah.
Okay. Veteran bullpen arm.
David Robertson.
Okay, David Robertson.
The Rangers had some interest in him at the deadline last year. I think he does a lot of the things that the Rangers really like, throwing strikes. He has experience. So that's my guy, David.
And with Yates
Robertson.
right now, the Rangers have 3 guys that have closed games before.
Yeah.
They got Spores, Leclerc, and Yates.
Yeah, Spores has limited big league closing opportunities.
Leclerc he's probably your penciled in closer right now.
Yeah, sure.
That's probably your penciled in closer. Yeah. Okay, so Dave Robertson, and then a bat. Are you thinking Grossman?
I'm not thinking like Jorge Soler.
That's who I said. So
yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I think that a bat by bat in quote marks. I could just a bench player, a veteran bench player. So I like a Grossman or a Jankowski. I think that's that ilk of player. Give you somebody who you don't have to worry about getting a ton of at bats, because I think the bench is going to have Sam Huff as the backup catcher, and then you got to figure out, all right, probably Ezekiel Duran, Josh Smith, okay, and so then it would be nice to have like a veteran guy.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right. And then and so that answers a lot of it. We just don't know, and it's so mind-numbingly slow right now. It's just I'll try to get in to look up stuff on MLB, and I'll try to follow. And I've fallen asleep at my computer going, everyone's just spreading rumors and no one's doing anything.
Yeah.
It's just so mind-numbingly slow.
And there's one guy says this, one guy, I'm hearing this. Well, the other guy's hearing the exact opposite thing.
Right.
So it's
all right, minor league stuff.
It's not worth it.
Let's do minor league stuff right now. We can touch on it real quick.
Sure.
Anything that's happened through winter ball, is winter ball over for everybody?
I think so, yes. Sam Huff came home before Christmas after his little
stint
time
in Puerto Rico? Or
he was in the Dominican with
okay.
Lise. The Rangers signed some guys to minor league contracts with
signed a guy out of
big league
independent
invitations. who get big league invites. Some of them that the Rangers are very familiar with, Elliot Hernandez and Sandro Fabian, and so they'll be in big league camp. There's been a dead period where teams haven't been able to contact prospects. That ends here pretty soon. Some more stuff will be coming out, and then the caravan schedule came out. Earlier today, Friday the 6th, I guess. Is it the 6th? It's the 5th. The 5th. There are going to be some prospects who are going to be in town making stops. So we'll be able to catch up with them at those. Hoping to have a couple at the event at our live podcast, Jan 18 at 7 p.m. at
Hey, let me say something about that.
Hoffenstein Brewing Company in Grapevine.
Let me say this about that. So right now, we've put out a deal on Eventbrite. There's an app that you can get on, or you can get on eventbrite.com. All you have to do when you get there is get in their search bar and search for Rangers Today, and our event will show up. It's free. But we're doing a thing with tickets, not because we're requiring a ticket. You do not have to require a ticket to get in this thing.
Yeah.
But what it's doing, it's helping us keep a head count so we can let Hop and Sting know what's going on. We put that out a few days ago. We're already at 70 that are doing it. But, guys, this place is great. But we kind of want to know what's coming because it's got a big room for us and all of that. But if there's going to be 400 people, we got to.
And it's going to help with our setup. Do we need to put a speaker outside? Do we need to put a speaker through their Bluetooth systems? Things like that. So anyway, just help us help them. And but yeah, come out, have a great time. But last minor league thing, the new international signing period starts here on the 15th. So we could talk about this at the next show, but.
Do they got a guy there?
They've got a couple guys. I've got their names down. One guy named Curly.
All right.
Curly. Martha was what I have typed down, and Paulino Santana. Curly's a shortstop. Santana is an outfielder, and Santana's really had a good year. Yeah, so he has really a lot of people like him according to Baseball America, and he's apparently going to sign a deal with the Rangers. So,
and let me say this about Wyatt Langford. When we've talked about people that wonder when Wyatt Langford should come up, he's going to come up when they feel he's going to contribute. But if this team is running away with the West, they're winning, and everyone is playing good in the big leagues, and he's playing great in the minor leagues, there's not a real need to just rush him up here. Let him keep getting at bats, especially if you're getting the production you need at the big league level with whoever you're putting in there. There's no need to rush him up. I tell you what, I think that Evan Carter's success also stems from the fact that no one had seen him by the time he came up. Yeah. And then here he came through the playoffs, a great hitter, a good eye at the plate, and you don't know what you can throw him because you haven't faced him 3 times this season. Yeah. When you played the Rangers or anything like that, especially the Astros, who were they didn't know anything really about him until
I did think though that the Diamondbacks did a good job kind of finding some holes on him. He needs look. Evan Carter's not a finished product either. He needs to do better against left-handed pitchers.
Yep.
And there are going to be growing pains this year, guys. He's not going to hit 350.
No, with 27 home runs and 1,000.
He's going to have his struggles. You just ride him out. He's not going to be any different than any other player. He's going to go through his lows. They might be a little longer because he's younger, but he also has the foundation that's going to help him shake out of those a lot sooner. And
they're going to get a book on him.
You'll still see him on base and all this stuff.
They're going to get a book on him, and that's what they call it on pitching and on players. When you've been around the league a while, other scouts for other teams put a book together on you, and they say this is where he struggles. This is where that happens on every player, and the studs get around it.
Yeah,
Corey Seager, he didn't care what's in the book.
Yeah,
he knows what he's doing. I think Evan Carter is going to be a potential superstar, but this year, we need the Rangers need him to hit 250 or more. They need him to be somewhere around there and just play great defense out in the field, be selective at the plate, take some walks, steal some bases. Yeah, a little pop wouldn't hurt. 15 home runs would be great or whatever, but that's all you need from the guy. I mean, a guy that puts together bats like that, his at-bats are impressive.
Sure.
So that's it.
All right, well,
guys.
yeah, we just covered all kinds of stuff, John. It'd been a couple weeks, but we got free agency and
we're going to be at spring training, so
we'll be at spring training. But what we talked about, free agency, the TV deal, Evan Carter, Hop and Sting, some minor league stuff. So we packed it all in here. We didn't really follow a script or anything. It's kind of all over the place. But
that's all we can do. But now
let's
get
Dane. Yeah, now it's time for Dane Dunning. So hopefully he'll restore order.
Absolutely. Let's get Dane Dunning, guys, right after this. All right, guys, and joining us right now, and it never gets old being able to say this, is World Series champion right-hand pitcher Dane Dunning. You know him from the Texas Rangers. Dane, what's going on, bud?
Not much. Just enjoying my off season, having fun. How about you guys?
Same as for me personally, it's really slow, Dane. We don't have a lot of news right now.
I gotcha. So mine's the opposite. I feel like my off season is flying by. I feel like I'm a blink, and next you know, I'm going out to spring training already.
Yeah,
y'all played longer than you've normally played.
Yep, that is true. Worth it too.
If you want this year, you can just take the month off, or you can try to do it again.
No, I want that extra month.
Yeah. What? Excuse me. Now that it's 2 months removed, I guess almost to the day. What was that like?
Honestly, it was one of the most unbelievable experiences ever. And let me give you a little background for me before like the whole World Series run. We were one game away from not making playoffs.
Yeah.
And I would have argued that was the best team I've ever played on, just personality wise. The top to bottom, the guys, everyone in that clubhouse was phenomenal. Everyone, we all bantered with each other. We all hung out with each other. We went to team dinners together. Like everyone did stuff together, and it was just so much fun. So then, fast forward to this whole postseason run we have, it just made that whole run that much sweeter. Just because, all the guys were just, pulling from the same side of the rope. Everyone is pulling for each other. Adolis goes down. We have people come up and step in. Then we have people like Corey, who was kind of, grinding through things. And but no, it was just amazing watching each and every single guy like go out there and compete at the, give his best and give his all. And then for us to do what we did was amazing.
The thing about, I'll make this comparison that as soon as spring training starts, a player is not 100% again until the start of the next spring training. It's like when you drive a new car off a lot, like you just start to depreciate.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, well, why is he struggling? Because he's probably got sore hamstring, sore oblique, jammed fingers, something that nobody ever writes about, that they never complain about.
Yeah, they never bring it up to any of us.
And yet they find a way, and then, only when you have to go on the DL, does or IL, whatever it's called these days.
Yeah, they change it up.
Yeah.
Like with Adolis and Max. I mean, they were done. And
they did not want to go to the IL.
But they wanted to play.
Oh yeah. No, Max took a lot of convincing for him to make his decision. He was hurting, but he was like, I can go out there and still get 5 innings. And it's like, Max, we get that. Like, you're obviously going to be a Hall of Famer. You're one of the best to ever do it. But like, we need you to relax and get better. That's the best way you're going to help us.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, and then say it again.
So you're coming back next season. We need you there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, if it was a a 1 year done and you're, off the team the next year, it's like, it might be like, all right, go out there and give us 5, like while you're hurting. But no, it's like he's coming back next year. Like he's going to be a huge part of us, obviously. And, so it's like, all right, let's pull it back a little bit. Let's get you healthy. Let's get you going. And like, I know Adolis, like from what I've heard of the hitters meeting, like he was extremely sad. And it's like each one of our guys like went up to him, was like, we got you. Like, we're going to do this thing for you. And, like I said, it was like little things like that. Like, we had, like Brad Miller, who didn't really like play much this year. He was the biggest cheerleader on the team. Like he was out there giving everyone high fives, making sure everyone's in the right mood. And he came every day with 100%, 100% attitude. And it was like, it's something so simple like that, where it's, you're like when you're one of the ultimate competitors and then you don't get to play that much. And it's like, you can sit, it's like, it's easy for you to be like, oh no. But like, Brad Miller came out every day, was like, hey, let's get the boys fired up. Let's have a good game and let's get to work. And so like, that's what I love about this team. It was just, it didn't matter what position you're in. It didn't matter how much time you had or how much time you didn't have. Like everyone pulled together and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. You mentioned the Adolis meeting.
Mm-hmm.
We've got your back. Went out and scored the first 10 or 11 runs of the game. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a real thing. And that's, you can say what you want about player character and does it matter or not. And, do you want to add a bad seed to the clubhouse if he's going to make you better? I don't know. I think Chris Young genuinely believes that the quality of the person makes the team better. And I think by what you guys and what you're just saying, what you guys did this year.
Yep. And I mean, like you said, it's a big credit goes to CY too. Cause like he's picking each person that, that is going to come along with us, who's like, he's played it. He's seen it. He's done it. Like he knows, he knows the whole dynamic of the clubhouse. And it's like, that's such a vital part that doesn't get related to in any sort of stat, any sort of anything. It's just like how good of a teammate you are. Cause it's like, if you're a great teammate and you're working one-on-one with people, or like if you're able to, to help out, like that little gesture can go a long ways to some of your teammates.
Yeah.
But I think that's, could be reason why Will Smith has got 3. Like Will Smith is a phenomenal teammate.
Yeah.
Like everything that he done, he made it fun and lively.
Yeah, he did great this year too. I mean, he should have been the closer. But he stepped in and did it when he had to. Yeah, and he's got a little overexposed there by the end of the season. He was not supposed to be the closer. So
he was dealing with something.
Like you said, he could have been dealing with something, but he got some big outs in the World Series.
Yeah, well,
no, definitely.
The Rangers have a pretty long list of guys throughout their history who are not the best eggs. You can you can go back to Lenny Randall, then Jose Canseco, Milton Bradley, Carl Everett. But really it's hard to find one here in the last 10 years. I loved AJ Przinsky.
Yeah.
I think AJ was liked by everybody except for you, Darvish. But I think AJ Przinsky was a good teammate. Maybe you hated him, but you wanted him on your team. But the point is, they're full of great guys. The farm system, as every couple of weeks we have a prospect on, and they're like the nicest guys ever.
They're just great kids. I mean, they're just amazing kids. And, we see it in where a lot of people don't, is we actually come into the clubhouse before the games and after the games. And you guys there's not one of you that's over in the corner sulking about anything. You're messing with each other. You're having fun. The ping pong games.
You're being professional.
Yeah.
Yes, you're being professional. You're not dumbassery or anything like that going on. But what I'm saying is the ping pong games you're about to play for something that's so meaningful, and fans are nervous, and you guys are in there trying to slam each other with ping pong balls and having fun, and that's the way it's got to be. I mean, you could just tell the whole clubhouse got along with each other.
Well, and you have to
you don't
have a choice. You're with each other
over 200 something days.
February to November. So it's
Yep.
All right, you're going to do something for me, though. When you get that ring, that day, I'm going to be there when they hand those rings out. I'm going to get up close afterwards. I want to just see that thing up close. I got to
all right.
take a photo of it with my cell phone or something. I want to see the actual World Series ring up close. I'm excited for you guys.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the whole. I haven't heard anything about it. I know I got sized not too long ago. Probably got sized like a week ago for it, but
they're like these days. They're
oh yeah,
they're so big.
I feel like they're probably heavier to be more than just paperweights.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, I'm gonna get a workout out of this thing from what I've heard. But no, like they haven't told us anything about the rings. Like I don't know what the design's gonna be like. I don't know what's gonna look like at all. How big it's gonna be. When we first won, Neil said he's gonna make these things the best that's ever been out. So, I'm looking forward to it.
The Braves in 22. Their rings opened.
Yep.
Ron Washington showed me his ring, and it opens. I don't know what you can keep in there. Maybe your wedding ring or something. But
it wasn't like the opening, like the inside. It was like the baseball field. It was the stadium. Yeah.
And I think it had dots in the outfield of all their postseason home runs. I think.
Okay, that's kind of cool
for the players that were.
I might be making that up, but.
So Ron had a little dot at third base with an arm wave.
No, I mean it was like I think it had like the hitting chart of where their home runs are. But I think I have the picture on my phone. But all right. So speaking of good guys, and this is part of the reason why we had you on,
guys. I'm sorry, I've got allergies that are.
Once again, you are streaming for MS.
Yes.
Talk about your event you have coming up on June the 19th. Or I'm sorry,
January 19th.
January 19th.
Yep.
2 weeks from today.
That's the day before our show.
So yeah, January 19th, we're going to be playing Call of Duty. I try to pick a game that majority of baseball players, even if you don't play or you do play, like you have a chance in, like things like that. So far we have a pretty good clientele that's going to be playing. Josh Smith is going to be in it. But we have people from, sorry, I got to pull up my list of names.
Well, I thought Derek Collins.
Yep. So Derek Holland, Lucas Giolito, Jake Berger, Josh Smith, Juan Soto said he's going to join in.
Wow.
Yeah. I got to get to my list.
Yeah.
There's some other people in here that I'm missing right now that said that they're going to join.
Gavin Lux, right?
Gavin Lux. Yep. So that's the major one. I got a buddy of mine who's actually a professional golfer named Sam Horsfield. He's going to be joining in.
Okay.
I just got the confirmation from him. But I mean, and then there's other people that he said that they might be interested. And then there's some old streamers that have been a part of my old ones. Athena, she's gonna be joining in. She mainly plays a game called Rocket League, but she said that she'll be more than welcome, more than happy to join in for a good cause and just to have fun. She's like, I'm not good at Call of Duty, but I'll play. And I'm like, that's all that matters. So we're gonna try to hit different platforms, but the main platform will be Twitch. The MS Society will have the front page for Twitch. But we'll have other people who will be joining in and they'll be streaming on their own services. And, hopefully I can get, like Josh Smith to be on TikTok because him and his wife are TikTok famous and we'll be able to hit a whole another dynamic of people there.
I think his wife is TikTok famous.
Yep.
He's got his own little following.
He's got a good following as well. And then just from there, it's just going to be like, we have a couple people that will be streaming on YouTube and then a couple that's going to be streaming on, I can't think of I think it's Kick or something like that. I don't know what all the streaming services are anymore. But yeah, so it's going to be good. Come support. We're still trying to get some more people involved in it. I've reached out to people like Good Golf and stuff like that, like kind of Dallas based. Dude Perfect said they might be joining in.
Okay, cool.
Sparky with Dude Perfect said they might be joining in. And So it's going to be a good time. I mean, it's the ultimate goal of this whole thing is just to, spread awareness for for people who live with MS and, to try to create as much donations that we can to hopefully help and cure and end MS forever. I mean, that's the ultimate goal of this whole thing.
I remember your first one was you guys played Rocket League.
Yep.
And wasn't there a deal where if you hit a certain threshold, you would shave your head? Did you ever hit that threshold?
We did not, no. So if we would have got to 15,000, I would have had to shave my head, and we raised 12,500. So fortunately, I did not have to shave my head. I would have loved to though.
Yeah, what
a great reason to shave your head.
But I mean, that was you. I mean, you hadn't even gone to spring training yet with the team. Is that right?
Nope. I would have been going into spring training with being bald, and no one would have. Everyone would have looked at me like, "Who is this idiot?"
But now, if you were to do that, you could probably get a teammate that would match it.
Yeah, baby. Yeah,
and want to see or would make up the difference and would want to.
Oh yeah, if you're close to doing that, you got plenty of guys that go, "Hey, I'll write a check right now to see Dane shave that head off."
Yeah.
It'd grow back quick though, man, as quick as it.
But
does.
It does itch initially. I did it once in high school. I've always worn a short haircut, and
but you shaved it.
We decided my senior year, just one time, let's give it a shot, and it was okay for a couple of days, and then it started to itch real bad. And like if you started sweating, it was no good. But this is before the age of skull caps, so maybe that would have made the difference.
There we go.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah.
I haven't shaved my head completely. I've only buzzed it. That's the lowest I've gone. But
yeah, me too.
All right. So the event again, since I butchered it the first time, January 19th.
Yep, January 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern.
And they can follow you on the Twitter to get information about it.
So I'll be posting. Yeah, I'll be posting stuff on my Twitter and my Instagram. I'm pretty sure my Twitter is ddunning33.
I believe that's right.
And then my Instagram is just ddunning3.
Okay. Yeah. So,
you guys get that?
Yeah, and we'll put it on the screen too.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. So we've celebrated. We've talked charity. So what are you doing baseball wise right now?
Today I did not. I was supposed to throw a bullpen. I did nothing. I'm actually sick. I woke up today feeling so bad. I just slept in, and I've been practically sleeping all day. That's mainly the reason why I had this hat on, is because my hair is in 8,000 different directions. But no, I've been off the mound twice now. One full pin, one like kind of abbreviated pin. It's been going well. I actually been very good. My last bullpen, I sat 90-91, and usually in bullpens, I never throw that hard, like ever. It's usually like 85-86. So, very optimistic, like looking forward on that. But yeah, no, me and my wife got a good little deal going on here with Mac. Obviously in the mornings I go work out, play catch and stuff like that. But we made a deal that she gets to go play pickleball whenever she wants, when I get to go play golf whenever I want. So a lot of times I'll go right after working out. I'll go play a quick 2-hour round and get home and then take care of Mac, and then she'll go out and play pickleball with some of her friends. So it's a good little agreement that we have, and it works out pretty nicely right now. If only my golf game was getting better, that would have been the cherry on top. But
I'm going to tell you this. My wife already loved you, but now she loves you more because she is into the pickleball.
Okay, yeah.
She is into the pickleball. And so she's going to be rooting for your wife. She got me into it. It's fun for old fat guys like me. It's pretty fun.
It is fun for all ages.
Yeah.
Like pickleball is, I remember when I first watched it, I was like, man, I'm like, this is it. This is easy. What are you talking? And then I would get absolutely stomped by, like I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm a professional athlete and I'm getting whooped by a 70-year-old grandma somewhere. Like
they do. They will you out.
And I'm like, what is happening? Like, I don't get it, but no, it's fun. Cause it's just like, it don't matter, it don't matter how old you are, how athletic you are, or anything like that. Like you can go out, play, have fun, and it's like there's lots of open plays throughout like in any city you go to, you could go and just have a good time with your friends. I mean, like the game has gotten so much fun, and it's like where my wife's at. It's like the games that she plays are just like ridiculous. It's so good. For our anniversary, I bought her. Yeah. For our anniversary, I bought her a pickleball machine so she could practice. Like, she can do and stuff like that. And I'm like,
that's awesome.
I'll tell you where pickleball is huge and has been since I've been on the beat. That's Surprise, Arizona.
Oh yeah,
the old people were in on it a long time ago.
I had never heard of it in my life, and somebody started bringing it up here this year, and then Kathy wanted to play it. And I looked at her and went, I'll go one time.
Yeah.
And we borrowed rackets because I'm like, I'm not spending money on this crap. Because and I went out there, and by the time we were leaving, I was on Amazon. How do you get a racket? We were playing 2 nights a week. I mean, we were having a blast.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so you've been off a mound. Is this normal? Are you a little behind schedule?
No, I'm right on schedule. I'll be behind a schedule one time now that I missed today's bullpen just because like I said, I woke up this morning. I had a bullpen scheduled at 9:15. I woke up this morning and I wanted to throw up and die at the same time. So I was like, I texted my coach. I said, "Hey, listen, I'm not going in. I'm just gonna lay here." And I actually didn't get out of bed until about 1:00. So,
oh my God.
And it's 2:25.
I had a little deal hit me last week.
Well, he's playing hurt for us, John.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
really appreciate it.
But no, it was I just like body was just aching, tired.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm just not gonna go in because I was like, last thing I want to do is there's hundreds of people that go there. Last thing I want to do is get them sick and like get other people sick and.
Right.
And then at the same time, go out and just throw a terrible bullpen because I just don't feel good. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to bang it. Yes.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just going to, we're not going to throw it today. I told him I'll let him know how I feel tomorrow. If I feel better, I might throw it tomorrow. If not, I might just wait till next Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay. So off a mound twice, normal schedule, even though you had the extra month. How are you feeling after throwing a career high in innings?
I feel fantastic. Ask me about August of next year, this next season. But no, it was great because usually like when I take that time off, I usually take like a month off of throwing, and with us going longer, obviously I couldn't do that. I took 2 weeks off. And when I got back to playing catch, I felt like I literally didn't stop throwing. It was great. Like, cause usually like for me, like I'll start throwing again and it's like my arm just doesn't feel great at the start. I got to go over this little hump. It's like, you build, you feel good. And then it's like, you feel bad and then you feel good again. But it's like this off season has been like just great. Like I've just been able to go and play catch normally. And then I ramped up pretty normal that like I normally would. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Is there anybody from the ball club who's in your area? You're in Charlotte, right?
Yeah. So I'm in Charlotte and I'm working out at Tread. The only other person that's actually with us, is Owen White right now.
Okay.
So Owen White is, He comes into Tread as well. He usually comes in like an hour after me, but he comes in. We have a good time. He's been working his tail off. I swear he's going to be looking really good this next year.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. That's good depth to have too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I know Jack Leiter I think joined up at Tread, but he's working out of Vanderbilt. The majority of Tread stuff is remote, so they're able to like do his program like remotely.
Gotcha.
All right, so I'm going to do the fun fan thing.
Okay. Spores came, by the way. Sorry, Spores came for like a week or two.
Up there, came up to you.
Yeah. So, well, his in-laws live in North Carolina, and so they went for Christmas, and then during that he was driving to Tread, which was like a 2-hour drive for him. But yeah, he was going, and like he came up a couple times, so I got to see him a couple times, and played catch with him one day. It was good.
Good.
He was our first guy on after the World Series, and fun to talk to him. It's great. You're our second big leaguer after the World Series, and talking about the World Series. I got to do a fan perspective thing. Last time we had you on, I asked you all the fun stuff about college and stuff you eat and cooking. I want to get into you're a big leaguer, and it's somebody like us who doesn't travel on a big league airplane.
Yep.
Tell me about the big league airplane. When you guys get on, who are you sitting with? What do you guys do on the road trip? I mean, how do you guys pass that? Especially if you're a coast to coast flight, you got some hours. You guys watching movies? You playing cards? What are you drinking on the plane? Eating on the plane? How's it go?
Yeah. So big league airplane has got me so spoiled.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I hate flying commercial now, and that's like the most. That's the most spoiled brat bougie thing to say, but it's the honest truth, because like they make it so easy for us when we fly that it's a piece of cake. So when we go to like a regular flight, and it's like you got to put your tray tables up in you can't lean your seat back in a certain time and stuff like that. And it's like I get so spoiled because it's like I get to the plane, I lean my seat back, I throw my tray table open and watch a movie right then and there. And then we'll take off like that. But no, it's, this year was different. So like the past 2 years, I watched movies constantly. But this year was a lot different. Throughout the whole plane, kind of everyone, obviously, we always interact with each other. We'll have some drinks going around. We'll have, we always kind of just banter back and forth, but on every flight, we kind of rotated teams. So it was always me and Josh Jung, and then it was Corey Seager and Josh Smith, and it was Brock Burke and Spores. And we would play cards. We'd play Pluck. It's a game called Pluck. So it's a 4-player game. So like
Pluck.
Yeah, Pluck. Yep.
Okay.
And so it's a 4-player game. And so like we would just take turns. Whoever loses, like the next group comes up and plays, and then like they'll go and sit at the other person's seat, watch a show or something like that. And we did that every single flight. We always had to jam I would jam my iPad in between two of the seats, and like the front two people would have to play backwards, and then the other two people gets to sit and be normal. And so like I always let Josh Jung sit normal, because it's like he plays every single game. It's like I pitch once every 5 days, or if I'm coming out of the bullpen, I don't really know. I can go 7 days without pitching, or I can pitch 3 days in a row.
Right.
But it's for them, I felt like it was more important to let them be on the right side of sitting, just because it's like, you're going to be playing every day. Like, we can't win games if you can't score, like if you guys can't score runs. I was like, I'm going to let you guys do that. Even though I had more service time than him.
Yeah.
But no, like it was a lot of fun, just because like it was, you play games, and then you just like talk smack, and Corey cracks me up. What'd you say?
Is the food better?
The food's good. They cater stuff in from restaurants. So, the only downside is at times it can sit a little too long, get too hot. Yeah. But I mean, like I said, that's spoiled brat stuff that we're talking over here. Like the food's really good. Like when we get on, there's usually like, some type of food waiting on us right at the halfway point of the airplane that we can just walk up and grab whatever we want and go. But a lot of times, like they will feed us before we leave. So it's like we'll be at the field right after a game, and it's like I'll eat food there that I feel bad because they have all this food on the plane, and I'm like, I just ate, like I can't eat again. But no, they have all sorts of candies, chips, snacks, whatever you want. It's available. And then they have like all sorts of, drinks, depending on if we're going to a city, like going on the road, alcohol is like they'll have alcohol for us, like if we want to enjoy a beverage or two. If
you're riding the bus to the hotel, yeah. So
yes. So if we're flying home, there's no alcohol allowed, just because we get home, we have to hop in our own cars and drive.
Yeah, very smart.
Yep. So we would like on the way to places. Usually, how it would happen is, if we have, depending on what time we get in and depending on what's happening the next day, like we'll have either like a team dinner waiting for us at the, like someone will set up a team dinner and we'll go as a team and walk and go eat and enjoy our time together. And then, it's like, it's funny because it's like we spend so much time with each other that it's like off the field. It's like, all right, we're just going to spend more time with each other. But, oh yeah, no, that literally is. It's one big family.
But the key is no TSA, no security.
Yes. Well, technically, yes. So we have not like a normal TSA. Yeah. So, when we get there would be about 5 or 6 players. Like our bus pulls up to our plane, and then there's like a little stand right outside. And like when we get off the bus, there's usually a lady waiting for us right there. And it's like, they'll be like, all right, name, you tell them your name. And then it's like, they'll have people that are randomly selected to be searched. And so they have to search, X amount of people. I don't know how many it is, but I felt like ever since Mac was born, I felt like I got searched every flight for like 3 months. It was ridiculous.
Baby formula.
Yeah. Well, it's funny too, because like sometimes like when you fly back, you'll see some of the guys like with their wife's stuff, like just like throwing it up on our plane, because it's easier like for us to carry it in our plane than it is for them to go through actual like TSA, then have to check the bags and all that. So it's like it's easier for us to grab it and just throw it up top and be able to like I would bring a couple things like our the little, I can't think of what it's called right now, but it's like a little pop-up, almost like a pop-up playpen type deal that we would use for him to sleep, like Mac to sleep in. And I would just bring that with me on the road.
Yeah. Does your wife take you out on the road usually?
Yeah. When Mac was first born, not really. I feel like the first couple months, she just stayed in Texas. Sure. Well, she was in Charlotte for the first month and a half, and then All-Star break happened. And then we flew back to Texas together, and she kind of stayed in Texas for those days for a little while. And then once it got near the end and then postseason, she started traveling a lot more. Like that whole postseason run, she was there for every game, and like so was Mac and stuff like that. So it was tough for her to like get around, just because it's like, newborn. Then it's like we're first time parents, so it's like we have to have everything. Like we can't leave a single thing or we're screwed.
Right.
And it's like by the time if we have, a second or third, it's like, all right, whatever. We don't have it. Who cares? Like
we'll stop at Target. We'll just get something.
Yeah, exactly.
The media does not fly with the team. Oh, they used to until around the mid to late 80s, I think, is what I've been told. The only time I really ever want to fly with the team is Toronto. Although like Toronto, I understand that even with charter flights can be a little tougher. But God dang it, there's nothing worse than Pearson Airport. Place, pardon my language. And it's just awful. And that's where you guys opened the season in 22. And I got to the airport 3.5 hours before my flight because I knew how bad it is. And the flight was boarded by the time I got to my flight. But I was the only one. But that place is the stinking worst. So that's the only time I really want to fly the charter and forego my airline miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful.
You got anything else for this guy?
No, let's get him out of here.
We've worn him out. He's
sick. For God's sake. Go drink some fluids.
No kidding.
No, I need to bad.
First of all, we're super happy about Mac. Well, I mean, I remember when he was born, I was bugging you. I love to see new parents. I just love that and excited for you. World Series. We're super excited about that. Tell us once again about what you're doing on the 19th here.
Definitely. So it's going to be streamed to end MS. So there's nearly 1 million people in the United States that live with multiple sclerosis. So quick snippet on multiple sclerosis. Your central nervous system, there's I can't think of what it's called right now. My brain's not working currently. But there's like a little protective covering on the nerve. And so what happens is that protective covering deteriorates, and, like you start to have symptoms. And every person who has multiple sclerosis, their symptoms vary depending on person. So one person, might go handicapped from the waist down. One person might go blind. One person might go it varies in many different ways. And so, it's a very rare disease to get, but it's like I said, there's nearly 1 million people who live with it. And, it's heartbreaking just hearing some of these stories. And so I like to do my part to help and, be able to get some donations to help end MS, to help find a cure and, to stop the suffering of lots of people and, the many people in the United States.
And your wife worked for them or still does?
Worked for them for 3 years. We're still involved, but she's not working with them anymore. Just with what I do and us having the little one, I figured it'd be like there's no reason for her to work right now. Like, let's just if baseball falls flat, and then I have to get a normal day job or something like that, it's like then we can talk about going back to work. But as long as baseball's fulfilling right now and able to provide for us, like I was like, let's just have you be take care of Mac and we'll go from there.
Well, that's your tie to MS though.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, because that's one of the things this podcast, everyone that has a charity, we try to get them on to push it. We want to help.
And he was on last time. That event had to be canceled, but now we're going again.
We're going again. That's great. And hey, Dane, it's great to see you. We'll probably try to hit you somewhere on the caravans. Come up, say hi, and say hello. Spring training for sure. We're going to come bug you and say hi on there. And don't forget when you get that ring, I'm going to be there. It's looking right there. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's it. No, just thanks again, and I'll check in on the 19th.
Yeah. I mean, my kids are big video gamers, so we'll try to get them on there. That's Dane Dunning, World Series right-hand pitcher for the Texas Rangers. Dane, thanks for joining us, guys. Until next time, we're going to end it right there. We will see you at the Arc.